Hi geeks, and welcome back to another episode of Glesga Geek. Today we're going to look at all the kind of superhero movie flops that have happened over the years. Obviously over the past few years there's been a lot of hype within the superhero movie community with regards to like the Avengers and the new Marvel universe, obviously the new DC universe that's coming out, which we have Superman, Batman vs Superman, Suicide Squad. So the superhero movies are getting up there now, but let's take a look back at some of the ones that didn't quite make it, and trust me, there is a good few. What we'll do is we will put a picture up here, underneath it we will have the box office gross, and underneath that we'll have what it took to make it so we can see how much it made, how much it lost, and finally will be my review of it, my rating of it. So first off, let's start with a movie that I saw years ago and didn't even realise it was actually a superhero movie as such until I started watching Teen Titans. And I didn't really watch Teen Titans when I was supposed to. I watched it, I think I was around about 18 time. You know, I was a lot older. But I was into superheroes, which was good. You know, that was always a good thing. Steel was originally a superhero movie back in the day, and it featured Shaq O'Neal as the man himself. Obviously, Steel revolves around a manufacturer who creates his own weaponized suit as such. But I mean, who would have thought to cast Shaq O'Neal? You know, the big man himself, he had no acting credits whatsoever. I don't know if that was his first one or if it was just starting out. I mean, look at The Rock back in The Scorpion King. That guy couldn't act. I mean, he'd done WWE for years. I mean, that was acting. So Shaq, who had done nothing, was put into this big role, the main lead in the role, and was trying to make a movie out of it. Obviously DC, they were kind of good back in the day. They were more the moviegoers recommended back in then, with like the original Superman, the original Batmans, and Marvel was just trying to like, oh, because we're here, yay. So Steel was one of the flops that never really took off. So there's all the results. Don't get me wrong, the movie itself was alright. So I'll probably give it about 2.5 stars out of 5. Let's go with that one. Next one on the list is one of the most famous, latest flops of all time. This is the one that probably pushed Deadpool to happen, I guess you could say. It features Ryan Reynolds trying to portray Green Lantern. Now that, what can you say about that? The CGI, well, it was all CGI, that was the problem. If they used actual makeup within it and some sort of green suit, and you know, actually a green suit instead of a green screen, it probably would have been so much better. But between the storyline, Ryan Reynolds is quite a sarcastic character. I can get why they kind of portrayed him as Hal Jordan. I mean, Hal Jordan is kind of sarcastic a little bit, but not to Ryan Reynolds level. That was a major flop, and that was one of DC's first major flops within their universe. This was the time when Marvel was starting to come out and become itself, and also the DC was trying to catch up and get all the big action movies out there. It just didn't happen. But I mean, they shoved a lot of money into it. It cost them 200 million to make, and it took in 219 million. So it made a profit, but not much. It just shows you how much profit it can make. 19 million, sure, it does sound a lot, but when you think all the different people it has to be paid in that. So overall, that's all your figures up there, and I'll give it 2 out of 5 stars because it's just, no. I mean, you could watch a cartoon version of it and it would have been so much better than the actual movie version. Which I sometimes do find with DC is that they could make really good cartoon movies and kind of flop when it comes to the real world movies. Don't know if their storyline is just better suited to the cartoon world. Anyway, moving on. And this is probably one of the most famous Marvel flops. Don't get me wrong, Marvel's had a few when they're first trying to start out, but now that they've started the ball rolling, people kind of forget about them and let them have their problems in the past. I mean, in the past is in the past, and now you're doing great. But let's talk Daredevil. We all know how bad that one. Ben Affleck as Daredevil just did not happen whatsoever. I don't think Ben Affleck is a good character to portray any superhero. Obviously he's played Batman. I've not seen it, so I can't really comment on it too much, but again, I think it was a bit of a flop. But that might just be the DC's take on the Batman within that universe. I don't know if he portrays it that well. Daredevil, he certainly didn't. Again, you had the big guy from the Green Mile playing the bad guy. He was actually really good. Again, he's also lost to the cinema universe now, but he actually did portray Kingpin really well, and obviously he does look like what it was in the comic universe, so there's that for it. Obviously Ben Affleck at the time was connected to Jennifer Garner, and that resulted in an Elektra movie. Elektra was another one of those kind of no-goes. So Daredevil was another flop. Well, luckily it seems like Netflix have came back and grabbed Daredevil by the horns, as such, and took it to a new place and made it even better. Also within the Netflix original series, he starts out from basically the beginning without his actual suit on, and he develops into a new character, and he is starting to wear the suit at the end of the first season. So that's obviously from Daredevil back. And again, maybe Daredevil is one of these movies, these comics, that should be more of a TV series, because obviously there certainly is a lot of comics that have a lot more detail within them, and the detail needs to be portrayed in a longer running series than just a 2-hour movie, or even like a trilogy of 2-hour movies. I mean, look at the Batman trilogy. That kind of got there. The first one a wee bit kind of scatterbrained, but it did get there. Anyway, Daredevil, here's your figures. So, Daredevil, it cost 78 million to make. It brought in 179 million, so I mean, it was a good movie that way. It did bring in the results, but as I said, that was probably one of the first Marvel Universe movies that came out around about then, because you had Spider-Man. That was doing not too bad at the box office, and it's not too bad a movie. I mean, hopefully, I don't know if Tobey Maguire really portrayed it the way he should have done, especially going into the second and the third movies. So they had that to kind of back them up, which is why it done so well in the box office. My rating of it, probably put about 3 out of 5 stars. I mean, it wasn't terrible. It did portray Daredevil the way Daredevil probably should have been portrayed, but Ben Affleck, he's just a flop in himself, isn't he? Connected to Daredevil is Elektra. Obviously, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner, back at that time, they were an item, and I don't know if it was because of this or what happened, when it happened, but Elektra got its own movie, and Jennifer Garner was a star. Elektra was one of the movies that just, that's one we don't talk about. And that's one that Marvel likes to keep locked away in the closet so that no one even sees it again, because it was just that bad. Obviously, I mean, Elektra herself, I don't feel that she is a main character, and I feel when it comes to the movie universe, then it should really be main characters. Netflix has done well in creating original series around those kind of less known characters. Obviously, Daredevil isn't one of them. But you've got Jessica Jones, you've got Luke Cage, which is coming out. Jessica Jones, again, she was one of them that I hadn't actually heard of. That getting its own Netflix original series, you kind of have to go, oh, well, fair enough, you know. But that was a very good series. Elektra, on the other hand, that just didn't do it. Also, it took you back to her roots and showed you exactly where she came from, where she grew, what happened with her, and the story behind it. If anything, maybe she would have just kept in with the Daredevil movie, and that would have been it. So, here's your figures for that one. Elektra, it was 43 million to make. It took in 56.6 million. How that happened, I do not know. Maybe there was some people that actually did like the Daredevil movie and they went to see it just to see what would happen. Obviously, I think people back then were hoping as well that Daredevil and Elektra were going to become joined together in one movie. And again, that never have happened because they were both flops in the end. My rating of Elektra is probably 2 out of 5 stars. Wasn't happening whatsoever. Couple more for you. First one is Catwoman. Halle Berry as Catwoman. Even the outfit was bad for it. That was a total and utter flop. Haven't seen it, never will see it because I know how bad it'll be. What I'll do is I'll quickly put the figures up, let you see it. Catwoman, it cost about 100 million to make and it took in 82 million. So that was a complete and utter flop on their behalf. Again, that was around about time. Old Batman franchise was just coming to an end, so they thought they would try and continue it and revitalise it with Catwoman. Why they thought Halle Berry would have been good, I think around about that time she was like the Bond girl in the latest Bond movie, so she was like the V star at the time. It's also around about that time that she was portraying Storm within X-Men movies. So again, she had that kind of superhero vibe behind her. Catwoman herself as a character is in that in-between line between bad guy, good guy, doesn't know what she wants to be. My rating of Catwoman, as I said, I've never seen it and I will always see it, so I can't really give it a rating, so what I'll do is 1 out of 5 stars. It was a movie, it was out there, but no. Last 2 movies I've got to talk about are straight-to-TV movies. Says it all, doesn't it? So we don't have actual figures for them, but I can put up pictures and that for you in my own ratings. First one is Nick Fury, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, David Hasselhoff is Nick Fury was never, ever a good idea. You can see exactly why it went straight to TV. It's just that, I mean, it's such a bad idea. The whole plotline was just out there. There's literally nothing else you can say, apart from the fact that maybe if Kit could have came into it at some point, that probably would have put the ratings up a wee bit. But, I mean, Knight Rider, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Nick Fury crossover, that could happen in the future. On a beach with Baywatch, we're there. It's all happening. So, again, that one, probably 2 out of 5 stars. Because I always give them a wee bit because obviously they made the movie, they put the effort in. Final movie, I do think it was released as an idea of a superhero movie in that sense, but it's a Stan Lee movie for certain, and obviously Stan Lee is the creator of all things superhero. So this one is called Lightspeed. Basically, when you think of Marvel's version of The Flash, I think the latest kind of theory is that Quicksilver from the X-Men franchise, he would be their version of the Flash. Kind of before he came out within the movie universe, there was this one called Lightspeed. Basically, Lightspeed was a kind of government project that went wrong and created this guy that could go superhuman fast, and obviously all the bad things entailed. Again, this was a straight-to-TV movie, but I must admit I actually did quite like it. But maybe that's just me, maybe I just I like the Flash. So any version of the Flash is probably still a good one for me. I know obviously this is Marvel's version, so it's totally different again, but I did enjoy it. So this one, again, we don't have numbers for it, but what I'll do is I will give this one probably 4 out of 5 stars. If you do have some time, you should probably try and find it. I'm sure it'll be somewhere. I don't think it's on Netflix or anything like that, but I'm sure you can find it somewhere. Well, there you go, guys. That was my view of the biggest superhero movie flops. Why don't you give me your opinions down below and what ones I missed out? Because I dare say there's quite a few out there that I have missed. Obviously, the old school Spider-Man, we've thrown his net across the people instead of actually having net busters. And obviously the old school Captain America, but I left them out because, well, they didn't really have the budget back then, did they? So as I said, leave your comments down below, give us a wee like and a subscribe if you haven't already. It doesn't cost you anything, but it lets us know how much you love us, and we certainly do love you back. Also, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and Snapchat. All the links are down below. Until next time, keep geeking!